Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. In light of the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, 5 News has reached out to state agencies in charge of traffic on our commercial waterways. Officials say they are already precautionary measures in place to ensure a bridge collapse won't happen here. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says they're responsible for safe transportation of commercial shippers on and under bridges crossing the Arkansas River.
Between the Army Corps of Engineers, Arkansas Department of Transportation, and the Coast Guard, we're in constant communication, and we're constantly letting each other know if there's risks that need to be mitigated. And so we think we're very well prepared, and that we could prevent an incident like this, like that happened in Baltimore, from happening here.
Well, RDOT sent us a statement saying the vessel that collided with and collapsed Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge is considerably larger than vessels that use Arkansas's navigable waterways. RDOT bridges over those waterways are either designed to resist impact from a vessel collision or have protection devices such as steel cells filled with rock or fender systems. And in other news, Fayetteville City Council is getting closer to hashing out a plan to address what they are calling a housing crisis in the city. Last night, the council decided to combine 2 resolutions. One declares the housing crisis, and the other is action taken to support housing projects to help with the problem. The council is discussing forming a task force to look at the lack of housing versus the current population. Some were concerned, though, with how these members would be appointed, how many, and their backgrounds. DeAndre Jones, a council member who's been heading the efforts, says the resolution isn't perfect, but the conversation will continue.
They understand the challenges, that the things that we can fix and the things that we can't. But one thing about it, one thing, and it's resounding, that I've heard from everybody, y'all are doing something. And that's what matters the most.
The council is expected to vote on the new revised resolution of the crisis and the task force after their next meeting, which is next Tuesday, April 2nd. And the USPS says they will keep mail processing in Fayetteville with plans to modernize the facility, but they plan to move forward, moving distribution operations to Oklahoma City. Now, this decision comes after an internal review by the Postal Service and public feedback on the changes. The Fayetteville facility upgrades are part of a 10-year plan to improve operations and become more efficient. According to Tuesday's announcement, no career layoffs are planned as part of this modernization initiative. All right, before we get to other news, let's send things over to meteorologist Zach Scott to get a look at today's weather. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Joe, we've got clear skies, cold start to the day, frosty temperatures across the area, but we're going to warm up nicely as we get into the afternoon. Temperatures today going to be way more comfortable than we were across the region on Tuesday. We're even losing that strong, chilly wind that we had. Again, plenty of sunshine through the morning hours, first half of the afternoon. Now, late afternoon, evening, weak disturbance is going to be coming across, and that could give us some scattered clouds northwest Arkansas and especially in the River Valley. We've got a lot of dry air. This system's going to try to give us a few sprinkles. I think a lot of it evaporates. But again, a few late afternoon, evening sprinkles will be possible. We'll clear out as we go overnight. And then we're only trending up from here. Afternoon temperatures and morning lows will be getting warmer for us over the next several days. We'll still be on the cool side, though, going into Thursday morning in the 30s. Joe?
All right, thanks, Zach. Well, the Ozark Regional Transit System is expanding its services by offering Northwest Arkansas its first intercity bus route. For the first time, Bentonville and Rogers will be connected by a bus route. 5 News reporter Parker Abels has more on how this could make it easier for some people to get around.
So this is finally a coordination of 2 cities saying, you're not going to get any more than what we are. We're not going to get any more than what you are. And this is just something that's easier for all patrons to get back and forth between our 2 cities and within our cities.
Howley also says that this is a huge step for his organization.
This is a new way of growing for ORT for us in that it's a long route that connects actually 2 different cities, which has not been the case up to this point.
While this route has a lot of ground to cover, ORT is making sure it's efficient.
It's one route, but it has 6 buses on it, And so you have a 30-minute headway. And a headway just means if you arrive at a bus stop and you see the bus is just leaving, you see the taillights, it's only going to be 30 more minutes before another bus is there to take its place.
The bus will start at the Bentonville Community Center and will have 42 stops ending at the downtown Rogers Butterfly Park. If you need to make the whole trip, it won't take you too long.
If you started off at the easternmost point and you ended up at the westernmost point, it's an hour and a half.
And non-motorized vehicles are accepted on all buses.
All of our fixed routes and all of our on-demand transit are both wheelchair accessible and bike accessible.
Well, the route will get going on Monday, April 1st. Each bus will have ORT employees on board ready to answer all of your questions. Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather. I'm Joe Ellison. Catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more.